Hi, my name is Ben Dyer. Today we're taking a look at a cross-country flight that we've been hired to make by our boss, the owner of the company that we are working for. So today we're going to take a look at the trip, the weather, the aircraft we're going to be flying, the external pressures, as well as we'll wrap it up with the pilot's recent flight experience, our recent flight experience. So we're going to be heading over to Columbus, departing out of Manassas, Virginia for a golf tournament. We're going to be departing about an hour or so before sunset, about 3.5 hours or so total en route. So obviously we're going to be flying part of this trip at night and dusk. We're going to be landing at night. We're going to have 3 passengers on board with us today. We'll have the wife, a husband, and their daughter on board. So the weather here at Departure Airport in Virginia, very nice VFR day. I'll continue about 100 or so miles along our route. Going to start to get IMC, IFR conditions starting to build up. As we get closer to our destination, we get the weather there. The METAR is not looking quite so great. Winds pretty light out of the north, but the visibility in the sky pretty low, 2 statute miles, 800 overcast. The temperature dew point also very small margin there between the two, and also considering the sun has gone down, that temperature may drop more, and we could potentially end up with some fog. So at that point, we're looking at some diversion options. There is an airport about 30 miles or so away, VFR conditions, so we are going to elect to divert there, even though passengers may not be super thrilled about that idea and they want to get to their golf tournament for that next morning. They still have options. It's not that far from the original airport, and they can get a rental car, have someone come pick them up, and they can still make it to their tournament. So the aircraft today is going to be a Cessna 172. Now we are going to be pushing it to its limits in terms of weight at 2,550 pounds. So its max takeoff weight will be at that today. In order to manage our weight and balance and fuel and baggage and passengers and make sure we can get everyone and all their baggage on board, we're going out with 43 gallons of fuel. And we will be making a fuel stop in Morgantown along the route. Some of the external pressure we're going to have weighing on us today is we have a potential job offering. The boss is looking to potentially hire us to fly with their corporate pilots. So obviously we want to make a good impression, make good decisions, PIC, but we also want to do what they have asked us to do, but maintain the safety of flight is obviously the most important. We do know it's an important event. Again, it's a golf tournament, so the passengers may be pressuring us a little bit just to get there into Columbus. But once again, we got to maintain the safety of flight, and even by diverting, they can still make it to the tournament in the next morning. About 40 minutes, however, into the flight to go back. A little bit before we get to Morgantown, the daughter is starting to get a little bit airsick, a little bit of turbulence. So it's nothing too serious at the moment. So we can continue on. We can do a few things to try and help. We can slow down a little bit, smoothing out the bumps, get the air vents opened up, get some cool air in the cabin, and blowing on the daughter. It might help a little bit, as well as we could ask the ATC if they have any reports of smoother air. And once we get on the ground in Morgantown, we can reassess with the family and see if they want to continue, if they want to wait there, what they might want to do in terms of if they want to continue the flight or not. So here we got pilot recent flight experience, obviously very important when it comes to making a flight. So total hours, plenty of total hours, good bit of experience at 275. We know we're going to be going in some IFR. We've talked about that already. Got 10 hours of IMC time, so not too bad. Still making that decision to avert those conditions is not quite what I would like as far as personal minimums go, for sure. And in terms of recent flight experience, though, it's going to be a big problem in terms of making this flight. We haven't flown, it looks like, in 95 days. So that's going to put us over that 90-day threshold, obviously, where we need our 3 takeoffs and landings in order to be current. This is also going to be night flight we've talked about, so we do need to be current for night flying as well. We also want to make sure we're proficient, but we are certainly not current. So in order to get that fixed, we're going to have to go get current, make our 3 takeoffs and landings to a full stop at night. So to kind of wrap things up here, we managed to take care of our weight and balance and stay within limits there and manage the fuel we can take and using the fuel stop. We got a good number of external pressures here, but they're manageable. Even with the sick kid, do what we can, and then again reassess on the ground with the family what they'd like to do. But the currency requirements is the big stopper here in this scenario. We're not going to be able to make the flight. We'll have to go again do the 3 takeoffs and landings, full stop at night, get recurrent before we can make this flight. So thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.